Did you know that BRICS has now expanded to represent over 55% of the world's population? With the addition of Nigeria, the global powerhouse is reshaping the economic and the political landscape. But what does this mean for Africa and the rest of the world? Today, we will dive deep into the historic development and explore its implications for the future. Hi, I'm Kelvin and welcome to Africarized, your go-to channel for African history, facts, Black history, and African stories. If you are passionate about uncovering the untold and understanding Africa's role on the global stage, make sure to subscribe for more fascinating stories. Let's get started.
Incredible growth trajectory of BRICS. It began with just 5 members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and has now expanded into a powerhouse of 19 countries and partners, representing a staggering 54.6% of the global population. That's more than 4.3 billion people, all part of an organization that has grown far beyond its initial scope. And it's not just about population, right? The combined economies of these nations represent over 42% of the global economy. That's huge. This demonstrates not only BRICS's growing influence, but also a clear shift in the global economic landscape, where countries from the global south are asserting their presence on the world stage. So, what's driving this momentum? Well, BRICS has been actively working on a multi-currency system. They've introduced things like the Cross-Border Payment Initiative, which allows them to trade using their own national currencies. Essentially, they're taking steps to de-dollarize their economies. Why? Because the dominance of the US dollar in international trade has left many countries vulnerable. Vulnerable to the kind of asset, freezes, and financial control Washington has exercised over nations like Russia, Venezuela, and Iran. By building these alternative systems, BRICS countries are creating financial frameworks that reduce their reliance on Western financial institutions. They're holding reserves in different assets, from gold to other currencies, and even setting up mechanisms to balance trade using commodities like wheat or minerals. It's like they're putting safeguards in place against potential economic disruptions imposed from outside. This push isn't just about economics, though. It's about reshaping the balance of power globally. BRICS is giving countries in the global south, countries that have long struggled under the thumb of post-colonial financial policies, a platform to cooperate politically and economically. It's about reclaiming agency in a system historically tilted against them. And let's be honest, this isn't going to be an easy journey. There are internal differences among BRICS members, different economic priorities, political systems, and even diplomatic challenges. But the mutual goal of reforming global financial and governance structures is a unifying force. They all recognize that by working together, they can reshape the rules of the game in their favor. So, with BRICS' continued expansion, they're addressing vulnerabilities and building a future where international trade isn't dominated by a single currency or controlled by a single financial hub. And that's a game changer for the global south. All right, let's zoom in on Nigeria, Africa's largest nation by population, with over 230 million people. This isn't just a number, it's a demographic powerhouse that adds significant weight to BRICS. And when we talk about BRICS now representing 54% of the global population, Nigeria is a major contributor to that staggering figure. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Nigeria is one of the fastest growing countries in the world in terms of population. By 2037, it's expected to add 65 million more people, second only to India, another founding member of BRICS. Together, countries like Nigeria are increasing the bloc's demographic dominance, firmly positioning it as the global majority. Think about it. This makes BRICS not just economically relevant, but demographically unignorable too. Now, Nigeria's role doesn't stop at population. It's also Africa's largest oil producer and the 15th largest in the world. That connects the dots between BRICS and global energy markets. Looking at BRICS' overlap with OPEC, the oil-producing powerhouse, it becomes clear how influential the bloc can be in the energy sector. With countries like Russia, Iran, and even the UAE already members, adding Nigeria only makes this network stronger. And remember, this isn't about random expansion. Nigeria's leadership in ECOWAS, the economic community of West African states, shows its knack for regional diplomacy and collaboration. As a BRICS partner, Nigeria has the chance to amplify its voice on the global stage, moving from regional influence to a key player in shaping international decisions. It's, it's kind of an alignment of purpose, a rapidly growing, resource-rich nation contributing to an organization built on the goals of cooperation and reform. So, here's the bigger picture. Nigeria joining BRICS isn't just about one country adding its name to a list. It's symbolic of a seismic shift in global power dynamics, from the dominance of the global north to the rising influence of the global south. What we're looking at is a recalibration where over half the world's population and a significant chunk of its economy are banding together to demand change. At the heart of this transformation are BRICS' unified goals. Reforming global governance systems, whether it's the UN Security Council or international financial institutions like the IMF, has always been central to their mission. Why? Because for too long, those systems have catered to the interests of a few, ignoring the majority of the world's population. BRICS wants to rewrite that script, ensuring that developing nations have more say in the structures that impact their futures. And this movement toward multipolarity is not just theoretical, it's backed by concrete actions. The expansion of BRICS to include nations like Nigeria and the UAE underlines the bloc's commitment to integrating economic and political interests across the global south. They're forging pathways for collaboration, whether through financial systems that reduce dependence on the US dollar or international frameworks that challenge outdated hierarchies. Now, of course, there are challenges. BRICS is navigating a diverse range of political systems, economic priorities, and cultural contexts. But one thing unites them: the shared understanding that global power needs to be more equitable, more representative. It's not about replacing one dominant force with another. It's about building a system that works for all. And as more countries join BRICS, this vision of a fairer, more balanced world order comes closer to reality. It's ambitious, sure, but it's also necessary. Because the future of global governance, trade, and cooperation can't be decided by a small percentage of the population anymore. The global majority, nations like Nigeria, are making their voices heard, and it's about time. And that's all for today, folks. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Global Perspectives with me, Kelvin Yassi. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching. Nigeria's inclusion in BRICS is a game changer not only for Africa, but for the global community. What are your thoughts on this expansion? Share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story from Africarized. Until next time, stay curious and stay empowered.